Hey, Trell, what's going on, bro?
What's going on?
Bro, thanks for coming on, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, how's everything going with you, man? With all this,
man.
all this,
Everything going good. How about yourself?
not pandemic. You just gotta try and keep busy. You read, you cook. Find
Yeah,
stuff to find stuff to do. I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask, how did you first get started with the track and field?
Well, man, I started as a kid, man. Sixth grade, I started running high school track. Found the
Mm,
love of the sports. Ended up making it to the state my sixth grade year in the 4x1 relay.
mm.
Crazy. I was on first leg then. I was on first leg then. In sixth grade, running high school track, man. I just found the love for it.
Mm. And so you playing? Was you playing any other sports? Was you playing American football, or was it always just track and field for you?
Now, I played football, man. I was receiving a running back. I was recruited by Alabama to go to college and play football at Alabama. I actually had more football scholarship than I
Mm,
did in track.
mm. Oh wow. Yeah. So when you first got serious at track and field, who was you looking up to, as in other sprinters? Would you
Maurice
say?
Green, Maurice Green was my idol.
Yeah.
Only
Mm-hmm.
because he was confident about himself. He had that swagger about himself, knowing that he was the great. So he carried himself
Mm,
and thought like he was the great. And I mean, for mechanic wise, he was a great guy to watch. Mechanically wise, he was a great guy to pattern yourself after, for as drive phase, transition phase, getting your hips up. And like I said, when he crossed the line with confidence, man. And
mm-hmm.
he was my great motivation from high school, cleaned up to that. I did turn professional to be able to compete against him.
Mm, yeah. And talk to me about the World Juniors in '04. What was that like getting the gold?
Man, World Juniors in '04, it was a great start for me. Again, I was on the 4x1 relay at first leg. I always have had one of the best start in the world from when I was young. So that wasn't new to me for as being the pop off leg, but it was a great experience, man. I was one of the first guys in my era, in
Hmm.
my home area, to ever run in a World Junior Relays or to make a team. Period. So it was very exciting for me. It also gave me confidence going into my freshman year of college. Just to say that I performed and represented the United States coming out of high school, man, it most definitely boost my ego up, going into my freshman year until I went indoors my first meet of the year and ran 6:59, one of the fastest times in the world that year. So,
Mm,
yeah, it most definitely was an energy boost for me, man, and a confident boost.
mm. So with this, if you go in the state university, is it ever hard to balance your running and your studies and stuff? Did you ever find that hard, or?
Nah, not really. Nah, I didn't. I didn't. It was more balancing for me. It was a more balanced thing for me. I was very disciplined. It wasn't like I did a lot of extra activities or whatever. So I
Mm,
knew in college, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I was going in college to do, and that was going in to get a degree, and also try to turn to be a professional athlete.
yeah. And if you didn't become professional, what do you think that you would have been doing instead?
I'm probably doing what I'm doing now. I own three businesses. I own a medical delivery service, I own a hair store, and I own two dry cleaners. So um, I most definitely probably would have been in business because I do believe in going out, working hard, getting it for yourself. You know, that's basically it, man.
Mm, yeah. So was you obviously in '04 you had your success at the World Juniors. Was you Oh, was you watching or keeping track on Athens in '04?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, I most definitely was keeping track. I was most definitely keeping track of Athens, man, because I had a home guy from my home team that was running in the 2004 Olympic Games, so it was most definitely something to watch. Otis Harris. Otis Harris was competing in the 400 and the 4x4 in 2004.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah. And um, so would you say at that time was a bit early for you? Like you wasn't ready, or would you say you was just biding your time, sort of thing, in that '04?
2000, talking about 2004.
Yeah.
2004, man. Like I said, I was a senior coming out of high school, going into
Mm.
my freshman year of college. I'm gonna say mentally I was, physically, I still had a lot of growing to do. So I wasn't ready for that competition at that particular time. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you? So how often are you watching your races back? Like when you're
I
competing?
can't hear you.
Can't hear me now. Oh. Yo. 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 Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can now.
Yeah. I was gonna ask how when you was competing, was you watching your races back often?
I watch my race all the time, man. In order to be a great Can you hear
Yo.
me now?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. So you were talking about watching races back, and you said you. Yo. Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Yep.
I can't hear you though.
Oh shit. Yo. Yo. Hello. Yo. You can't hear me.
I can't hear you.
Still can't hear me. Yo. Hello? You. You. Ah. We'll be back, people. Don't watch. Audio is doing a madness. Where's Trell? Trell. Where you at, man? She's a madness. Just speaking to Trell about his athletics career, about getting to indoor finals and whatnot. Don't know what's going on with the audio. I've tested my camera mic, seems good. Yo. Yo. Yo, playing.
I hear that. You wanna?
Yo. Even. Hello?
You wanna redo it?
Yo. Yo. Oh.
You wanna schedule a redo
Yo. Can you hear me?
today?
Maybe
I
another
hear
day. Still can't hear me. Okay. All right. Cool. Hello.
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 Now I hear you now.
Oh wow. I don't know what. Bloody hell. What was I saying? Yeah, we was talking about yeah, you were saying how you I was asking if you watch all your races back and stuff.
Yeah, I watched every race. Every race that I ran, I went back and watched the race to make sure, that I went through my drive, that I got out the blocks good, went through my drive phase, and everything properly, transition properly, to just make sure I was in assurance of myself and make sure everything was flowing down the track like it's supposed to. Every great athlete got to go back and study themselves and study their component. That's if you want to perform on another level, you have to think on another level, because now that is your job now. When you're a professional athlete, especially professional track and field, everything is so technical. And one little missed technicality can cause you the whole race. So you have to go back and study yourself.
Yeah. So what's that feeling like when for example, if you go back and study yourself, every technicality, every component, and it's good, but you still end up coming fifth or sixth? Do you just take positivities from the way you ran, or what's that feeling like when you do everything, but you just
Well, I done been in situations like that. You know, you don't never know how the race may turn out. Only thing you can go out there is perform to your best ability. You know, I done been in races till I know I go out there and do everything right. I done came in fourth, fifth place. But then I look at the overall thing of it. I ran faster. As long as I see myself, getting some making progression, then hey, I'm fine with it. But I don't want to come fourth or fifth place and it was the worst race of my career. No. So I take everything in a positive way. Even if I have a bad race, I go back and look at the good part of my race and perfect that. Because track and field is 95. I'm gonna say for me it was 95% mental. Once you lose the mental capacity of it, you done. Because you are going to get beat in a lot of races, but you also, if you stay, working hard, grinding, you're gonna also win a lot of races.
Mhm.
But my main thing, especially in the 60-meter dash, I was more of, in order for you to beat me, you're gonna have to run your best.
That's it.
So like I said, I took the negative and made it out a positive. When I did get beat, I went back and studied the positive stuff, looked at the negative, and put it just like a car battery. You can't run a car without the negative, and you can't run a car just off the positive. You got to have both of them to perform.
Yeah.
And that negative part kept me grounded and made me to continue to work hard.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you ever watching your opponents or people that you might race against?
I really only watched component, man, when it came up to championship time,
Yeah,
USA
yeah.
championship or World Indoor Championship or something like that. I watch my component then because that is really when it matters, when it's time to make the team. Just the regular season races, not so much. I may see them in a race if I'm at home watching a race on TV or something. And I know I got to run against them next week or in the future. I may watch the race, but for me just studying them, no, I don't study them until it's coming up to championship time, because you could study so much on your component until you'll forget about yourself.
That's it.
So I want too much studying my component. My main thing was making sure Trell gonna be in the best shape and ready to run fast at that particular moment.
So going on to the world champs, the world indoors in 2010. I see you as in the semis. You was after Dwayne. You was the fastest qualifier. Is there ever pressure when you go into the next round? Say like, oh, I'm second fastest qualifier. It's pressure on me to perform.
You really want to know the crazy thing about that is, I wasn't even supposed to have been at that race. I got in 2010 because we had an athlete. Something happened with an athlete with one of the U.S. athletes, Ivy Williams. Something happened to him. I don't know if he got sick or something. Something happened to him, and I was the third placement in that race. So when he got sick, I was the one to come replace him. So in reality, I was the underdog. I went in, I think like 6:58, maybe running 6:58. It wasn't that fast going into the World Championship. I actually had started getting ready for outdoor season when I got the call to go run 2010 World Indoors. But I went in there as though I am the favorite. And I went in there on a mission to show, like, look, I'm just not coming over here off of default. I'm supposed to be here.
That's it.
And I went in there, with the mentality of, if I'm not the best, they're gonna know that I'm one of the best as of today. Now, in that finals, it was like a late reaction
Mhm.
because I was supposed to be on that podium.
That's it.
And I want to say me and Nestor Carter ended up tying for third places. Yeah.
Yeah. So even obviously you had Mike Rogers, Bailey. It was a good field. Don't you say it was a good field for that final?
Yeah, it was a good field.
And obviously Dwayne got the world lead and stuff. So was you at the time? Is obviously we're always when we come forth, we're always a bit disappointed, but you could say you done your best given the circumstances and stuff.
When you got a field like that, a real competitive team, that's all you can do is go out there and do your best. And at that particular time, I was still kind of young in the sport, and I wasn't worried about Dwayne Chambers. I wasn't worried about Mike Rogers because at the end of the day, they lining up on the line just like I am. I had the mentality just because you beat me yesterday, don't mean you're gonna beat me today. And that was just the mentality that's the mentality that you gotta have in track and field, because if not, you would not last long in the sport of track and field.
Makes sense. Yeah, so talk me through the obviously 2010. Obviously a year later we're in Daegu, the world champs. How's that experience? We're
Man,
outdoors.
that experience was, like I said, it was great because that was my first actually world indoor championship to compete in. And like I said, I got over there based off of one of the athletes getting sick or getting hurt. So it was an honor already of me just being there in that atmosphere. And when I got on the track, man, it was more like I was in my own zone. I had a point to prove because a lot of people didn't expect me to be there. But now that I'm here, I got to show not only the U.S., but I got to show the world my capability. And that was the mission that I had.
And then obviously obviously the world champs for 2011, was you a bit disappointed that you didn't get to the final? Obviously, like the indoors.
Man, 2011, was I disappointed? No. And I'm going to tell you why I wasn't disappointed. I made it there.
Yep. That's it.
Again, that was my first outdoor championship in the 100. You know how many athletes the USA have that's trying to make that 100 team? A lot.
Yep.
So, hey, if I could just get to the finals at USA Nationals, I'm going to be on that team. Whether it's the 100 or the 4x1, I'm going to make it to the team. So, I didn't care if I would have got put out in the prelims at World Championship. I was there. There's a lot of athletes that I seen come through the sport, man, of track and field, not just running for the U.S., but running for multiple countries, that was stellar college and high school athletes that never had a chance to put on their country uniform. And they was phenomenal athletes in college. So that was an honor for me, not only to be able to line up in Daegu to support my state, my hometown, and my country in that 100 meters, but it was most that, hey, I got an opportunity that a lot of athletes never had.
It's well said, man. Well said. So was you shocked when watching the final when you just see Bolt just full start and that?
No, I was not. I was not shocked at the moment. The reason I wasn't shocked at that particular time, 2011, Johan was at the high and the best of his game in his career.
Mhm.
You know, so not so much in the 100. You know, I figure, you know, that Johan probably would have won it, because think about it. After that, man, Johan ended up running like 9.6, 19.2, 19.1 or something crazy after that. You know, so he was most definitely in the best shape of his career. So, nah, I think Bo actually did the smartest thing to false start, if he know that he wasn't ready, because Johan was.
And would you say your start is the best part of your run, as opposed to
Most
like right?
definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. You know, not to brag and boast on myself, but I feel like I had one of the best start ever in track and field.
I respect it, man.
You know, it was to the point to where you knew when the USA team showed up, Trell Kimmons was going to be on first leg. That was it was just that point. And Gatlin was so confident to where he knew if Trell Kimmons at first leg, he wasn't going to have no problem with getting the stick. Because I knew how to control the stick and control my zone.
So what is there any? What was I gonna ask? Is there any aspect when you was training? Was there any aspect which you didn't like? So say it might be gym work or stretches. Is there any part of training which you just hate to do?
I mean, I hated track training, period. Now, I love the gym. I always have loved the gym. I hated track training, period. Especially during the fall. I think everybody hates during the fall, but everybody loves when season time comes. You know, the getting in shape part is the hardest. Once you get in shape, you know, you pretty much running, so you will stay in shape. But it's that getting in shape.
That's it. So we're back at 2012. We're in another final. What was it like coming fourth again, man?
Man, in 2012, I actually supposed to be won indoors. I was number 1 in the world. Something was going on with the gun there. Till it had some after effect, man. I didn't even hear the gun. I just went off. I saw Gatlin them out the corner of my eye move, and I moved. And that's how it was, man. I was like, you know, if you really pay attention to the race, I came from the back. I didn't even react, you know, to the gun. You know, and again, I missed the podium, but I was glad to be there. And that was one reason why in 2012, you know, again, I had something to prove. I ran 6:45. I still number 1 in the world, but I also had something to prove when we lined it up in London on that relay. You know, I wanted the world to know that Trell Kimmons is never on the USA team by default. Trell Kimmons is on this team because he earned to be on this team, and he earned to be at this spot that he is.
And in that final in 2012, you and Dwayne both ran a 660. When you crossed that line, was you thinking I've got the bronze, or did you know you came fourth? Because
I knew I came fourth.
Okay, fair enough.
I knew I came fourth. I knew I did. I mean, you know, I come from the back. To be honest, I thought I came fifth. I was surprised to get fourth because I didn't react to the gun at all.
And with obviously you've raced against Dwayne, Nestor Carter, obviously Gatlin. Who's the toughest you think you've faced?
Gatlin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gatlin by far. The reason I say Gatlin, you can't take Gatlin out of his race, man. he a technician. He's a technician. Even to today, you cannot count Justin Gatlin out of the finals. If he in the finals, you better worry about him.
So Gatlin's a technician. Would you say you're a technician as well, or you just strength or powerful runner?
No, I'm more of a I'm more of a technician. I'm gonna say from 0 to 60 because that's why they put me in first leg. From 0 to 60 out of blocks, nobody can handle me. The reason I say Gatlin is a technician is because I don't care what part of the race you at, Gatlin is not gonna lose composure. If you pay attention to some people in their race, once they transition, if somebody in front of them, they start pressing. Gatlin not gonna press. Gatlin stay under control. Gatlin gonna do what Gatlin do. You know, it's just something about when the lights come on, man. He a whole different machine, and I mean, that's with anybody. You know, it was a lot of time indoors. I was counted out. I was counted out in 2012. I came into the USA Indoor Nationals. My fastest time going international was 6:71.
Oh wow! So when your time is like that, kind of not that fast, is that added pressure to actually run fast?
Not at all if you know your capability.
Mm.
Not at all. Because the reason I say that is, if you're an athlete that know how to perform when the lights is on, you know, you ain't scared of the lights, you're going to be okay. I was one of the ones, when I get to the finals in the 60-meter dash, no lights on, I'm finna turn that NOS button on. I'm ready.
And so why was I expected? You weren't at Moscow, was you, in 2013? Was you there?
No, 2013. I supposed to be there. I went to camp and got hurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was a serious injury or just a little?
I had a nagging injury behind my knee. I went to we had camp. We had to camp that year. I went to camp, and I had to fly back home right before World Championship.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then obviously you had your third World Indoors the year after. Was
2014. 2014
Yeah.
probably was one of. I was ready that year, but I'm gonna tell you what happened that year. Going up the ramp, twist my ankle. Everybody was going down. Mike Rogers went down with an ankle injury.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hurt my ankle going coming off the ramp, going up the ramp. I hurt my ankle, and I actually had a little slight stress fracture, which I started to pull out of World Championship. But I was like, man, I'm gonna try to go head for it anyway, when I should have pulled out.
And you didn't. What was that? Was that just you thinking, I've reached 2 finals, I don't want to pull out of this one, or was it just?
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. I didn't want to pull out. Yeah.
And obviously, what would you be thinking if you made it worse, sort of thing? Would it just be proper kicking yourself if?
I wouldn't have made it worse because I actually, when I got back, I went to the doctor about it. I stayed in a boot. For a while.
Mm-hmm.
Up until I did, go to a World Championship. I didn't really run at practice. So I was just like, I'm good for 2 races. Prelim and the finals.
And that final 2014 was crazy. There was like 5 of them blanket. Yep. I was like, obviously second, Bracey got 651, and it was like the third, fourth, fifth, they all got like 652, and it's just
it was crazy.
What's it? And obviously I see I see. Obviously, Sue got like a national record. What is, and obviously, I was watching Rudisha earlier, the 800. When he got the world record, he had people in fourth and fifth getting national records and stuff. How would that feel? Like if you came fifth, sixth, you're getting all these records, but you're way ahead of the person who won the race. Like, what is that? Just mixed emotions. What do you think that feeling must be like?
Well, if you really think about it, I was in that situation. 2012 Olympic Games, 4x1. You know, we broke the record in the prelim. We broke the American record in the prelim with 37.3 that we ran in the prelim. That was an American record. We came back in the finals and ran 37.1, 37.10, which was another American record and tied for the world record, but both them broke the world record. You know, so it was like they broke the world record, we tied the world record, we broke the American record. You know, it wasn't no mixed feeling with us. Well, with me, I'm gonna say with me, because number one, I was glad to be on that Olympic team. Number two, we made history that year. Number three, it's still listed as the fastest time of all time, no matter what. You know, so it was like we came to do what we came to do. Break the American record, tie the world record. We tried to break the world record. But the most important part at that moment was we got to stick around the track. You know, before then, it was like the U.S. was a curse, man. We couldn't even get to stick around the track.
Obviously, you spoke about you and your first leg, and you never once fancied going last on the anchor, or it was always first leg for you. You didn't.
Well, I ran third leg in the prelims at the Olympic Games. So first and third, just leave me on the turn. I'm good.
Yeah. No, I just what's it like being part of a relay team? I know some, obviously there's some people just that they just want that anchor leg and stuff, and it might cause a bit of.
Well, the thing with that is, man, you got to run people in their best position. You know, we went in. I knew I was one. I knew first leg was my spot. Gatlin knew second leg was his spot. Tyson knew third leg was his spot. Bailey didn't have no other place to run but anchor. You feel what I'm saying? In a relay, you got to run. Coaches got to understand that you got to run the athlete where he or she comfortable at.
Yeah.
No coach went in and say, "Okay, Trell, you gonna run second leg. Gatlin, you gonna run first." No. We knew what we were going to run at. We told the coach, "This is what we feel better running at. Now, let's execute that." You know, man, I was on the circuit for double-digit years, and I never seen a team perfect the handoff for the U.S. like we perfected it. It's not because we had all 9 8s, 9 7s, because we done had teams that done had 9 8, 9 7, 9 9s on the same team. We done had that before. But they never ran the times that we ran because of the stick, the execution of the stick. We had our sticks and timing down to a T, down to the science, to where the bond that me and Gallon had on first and second leg, I don't see that bond happening in the next 5 to 10 years.
The best changeover in history, yeah?
I don't see that happening. Why you think Jamaica always ran Nestor first and kept Mike Frater at second? Because of the stick chemistry. They didn't want to break the stick chemistry. You know, it wasn't about, Michael Frater run 9 something. Michael Frater won a 9 runner. Michael Frater was a consistent 10-0 runner. Michael Frater and Nestor Carter just had clean, perfect, and good timing with the sticks. And that was the part that we lacked in, that we perfected in 2012.
Mm. And there was never a time where Gatlin set off too quick and you couldn't catch him, so you pass
Nah,
it inside.
none of that. Not even at practice.
And is there? I was gonna ask because when I was watching the world relays, there was quite a few few countries got disqualified because of changeovers. Is there a particular way how you would like Gatlin or like whoever else is on the second leg to put out their hand, or is it just literally just put your hand out? Is there
Well,
a particular angle or
well, this the thing, and again, it's called stick perfection. I'm the first leg, which means I'm driving the boat, right? I can't stick the stick if I don't see his hand. You got a lot of athletes try to meet the hand with the stick. You feel what I'm saying? We had timing. It was more of say it, see it, stick it. If that makes sense.
yeah,
Say stick, see what a hand at, stick it. Put the stick in his hands once you see where his hand is at. That is timing. You can't call stick as soon as you call stick. You trying to put the stick in his hand and you don't know where his hand is located.
that's it.
And that's what that's what we got going on now. They trying to hurry up and get the stick off. In reality, the stick slowing down because you don't even know where this man or where her hand is.
That's it. And although obviously London, you lot ran a great race. Even though what happened, losing the medal and stuff, obviously you still take a lot of like you done your thing in the race.
Uh-huh.
You're still pleased with the performance that the team put up in that.
Man, even getting the medal back,
Yeah,
people still talk about that race to this day.
yeah, it's part of history.
At the end of the day, can't nobody change what they saw. You feel me?
Hmm.
So they could take the medals back, they could take the uniform back, they could take the stick back, they could take whatever they want back. People remember that moment in 2012.
And how did you find London? You like it over here?
London was nice, man. Like I said, we went over there, we trained hard, we did what we supposed to do. It was more of breaking the curse for us. Let's go over here, let's play it safe, let's get the stick around the track, let's get on the podium, let's get on that flight, let's come back to the US.
Yeah, and obviously we see with Bolt, and he's just obviously he's 6'5" and whatnot.
Huh?
Is there a particular size for a sprinter?
I,
Would you
I
say?
don't think
Or
so, man. I don't think so. I mean, for a sprinter, either you fast or you not. Both always have been fast, man. I seen both run in high school. Me and both around the same age, so I grew up running around both. You talking about a guy that ran 19 second at 15 or 16. So it was there. The speed was always there. It was just you know, uh, when it's gonna really show up in what event. Because Bolt was running 100, 200, 400 at one time. I think it really showed when he started focusing more on the 100 and on the 200.
Mhm. And do you think so if a younger athlete, if for example you as coach a younger athlete and there was just a sprinter and there was just dabbling in 100, 200, would you advise them to just focus on one event, or
No,
how do you?
not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
If you're 100, 200, you're going to be 100, 200. Now, you're not going to be no 1, 2, 400. No. That's two different types of training right there. But in order to be a great 100, I think you got to run a decent 200. A decent 200 to run a good 100. To have that stamina to be able to carry you through the 100. So, the thing that people misunderstand for us when you're a professional It's a difference in the 100-meter cash out and the 200-meter cash out. It's a difference in the 100-meter appearance, the 200-meter appearance. So the athletes get more locked into the 100 because that's where the money is.
That's it.
So why would I go and run the 200? If me and you run against each other, and you know I'm gonna whoop you in the 100, or if I know that it's gonna be real challenging, but I can go get an easily slate in the 200, why would I get in the 100?
Makes sense. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? If I can go get a $200,000 appearance in the 100, and I'm only go get 100 or 30,000 appearance in the 200, why would I go run the 200? You get what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Both was a phenomenal 100 and 200 meter runner. But if you notice at the meets, what did he mostly run in? The 100. Because that's what all the crowd, that's what everybody want to come see. The 100.
And I'm just talking about training. Is there any big difference between your obviously your sprinting when indoors and outdoor? No difference.
No difference. No, sir. Not at all.
Just so if you could make your dream relay team with Trell on the first leg, who would the other three sprinters be for 4x1?
I keep it the same.
Oh, is it?
I would keep it the same. I would keep it with what I know.
Oh, you wouldn't put Maurice in there?
No.
You're gonna put Bailey, Donovan Bailey. You're gonna put
Not
Roldan.
at all. And you know why? You know why I wouldn't put that on there?
Why's that?
None of them ran faster than us. So why would I? Why?
That's a good answer, you know. Now, because ask other people, they might just put people they grew up watching, like you said, Maurice Green, obviously Michael Johnson, maybe, but nah. Fair enough. That's fair enough.
Wouldn't.
So with this with the 100 meters coming up summer, obviously Christian Coleman, whatever happened with him, Blake. Have you who have you got your money on for this summer?
It's kind of hard, you know. I want to say I'm gonna stick with the US. It's gonna be between Bromell and Gatlin.
Yeah, Bromell is crazy, man. He's pickup is just,
you know, yeah. Bromell gonna be okay, but what Bromell got to understand is when you got Justin Gatlin in the finals, don't count him out. You know, but I'm most definitely gonna put my money on Gatlin and Bromell, most definitely.
Yeah, and so just looking back at yourself, are you pleased with your career?
Most definitely, I am.
And you set out and you done what you planned to do. So, would you say that as well, or
yes.
did you do more?
Yes,
or did you do more than you? Or did you do more than?
No, I did what I wanted to do, man. I made world indoor team. I made world outdoor team. I made Olympic team. You know, I could have came back and ran track, but like I said, I had my own business going on, and I feel like, what else I got to prove in track? I did what I wanted to do. I done what I needed to do, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna go train the kids on the side, help them in their career. I'm gonna run my business. I'm gonna enjoy my life with my son, and that's it.
And would you agree with me when I say athletics is a short career? Would you agree with that?
I would say now it is. You know, you talking to a guy that did double digits. Gatlin did double digits. Tyson did double digits. Majority of the old cats did double digits. They're not doing double digits now. So yes, I will most definitely say it's a short career. 4 years, probably 4 to 5 years, maybe.
Yes. Yeah, of when you're. And do you agree that because there there are sprinters who actually, and they even win medals when they're in their 30s. So you say you could get faster if you look after yourself, or nah?
Nah, I don't think so.
No.
No.
Yeah.
See, you also got to look at the competition level. Back then, when I came through, dude, the competition level was hot. You could look at a race and predict who was gonna win. You know, you had myself, you had Tyson, you had Asafa, you had John Capel. I mean, you had everybody. You had just about 100 athletes in the United States. You know, at least 20 gonna run you 9 seconds. So the competition level then was high versus now. You can pretty much predict who gonna win the race.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Hey, Trell, thanks for talking to me, bro. Appreciate you coming on, man.
All right.
Appreciate you coming on, man. Hey, you take care, man.
All right, you too. Thanks, bro.
Love, man.